Serena, hello.
Emily, hello, how are you?
I am doing so really good. So really good.
So really good.
So very good. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I'm really curious to know what song you've been listening to.
Okay, so I went on a road trip.
Okay.
I went to Rhode Island.
So jealous.
It was so fun. I loved it. We can talk about it more in a second. But in the car ride, I just had like the discography on shuffle because it's like 5.5 hours from home. And I was like, I don't really listen to Debut or Fearless or anything. Like, I just, in my regular, like, sometimes here and there, but not really. I have a few songs sprinkled into, like, my other playlists. But Cold As You.
Ooh, yeah.
The lyrics in that song are actually so fire.
Yeah.
And I just, like, I start a fight because I need to feel something.
That's a good one. Yeah.
It's a great one.
Oh my god.
And it led me to posting on the Instagram stories of, like, your favorite Debut lines.
Yeah.
And I just was like, wow, I'm really excited for
It's so exciting.
Taylor's version
that
of
song really is
Taylor
insane.
Swift.
Like, a lot of those songs on that album,
They're
you
like,
listen to it, you're like, wow, wait a sec.
it's actually pretty good. And it's like very, it's just giving the teenage emotion in like the strongest way.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah, it's so good. And a lot of people had really good lyrics too. I was looking at the responses.
I know.
When you put that, I was like, oh, come on, Debut. I'm
know.
ready.
I was
so
like,
ready.
wow, I'm actually so excited for Taylor's version.
It's going to be so good. If you can get past the country, I feel like that's why a lot of people don't necessarily listen to it.
And I do feel as though the Taylor's version will be less country.
Oh, that's a little sad. But
It is a little
I don't
sad,
think
but
so much about it.
but like, is she really gonna like fake an accent again?
Well, I don't know about the accent, but
I don't know. We'll see.
we'll see.
We shall see.
That's a good one.
Thanks.
Good.
Yeah, that was good. So, what have you been listening to?
It's a little basic, but I just love You're on Your Own, Kid. And I don't know if it's because I just miss the tour so much or what.
I could shed a tear over the tour.
Yeah.
I also miss it. And when because Emily told me what her song was going to be before we started recording, and I said that I had something to say about You're on Your Own, Kid, and it's going to feed into today's episode.
Yeah.
And so I saw this TikTok, and it was like,
oh no,
so ridiculous. It's like the theories that just like get out of control.
Oh, I think I know where this is going.
This became a running joke of my trip in Rhode Island because I was with my friend Maddie, who is also a Swiftie, and we were just like, because we were in Rhode Island, it was just like the Taylor banter was just
of course.
It was just out of control. And I was telling her in the car ride, we got to talking about that song came on, and I was like, I heard the stupidest theory, and she's like, tell me, because she doesn't really like feed into that kind of stuff. She just likes the music. So I'm like, this person, like a TikTok I saw of them like breaking down the bridge about how every line is about different eras, and I just can't. I can't handle it. So we kept saying, like, every time we would see something ridiculous and be like, oh, this reminds me of the 1989 era. Like, we just kept, like...
oh, there's a seagull.
Yeah, like, the seagulls were out of control.
Oh, I'm sure.
It was, like, we kept saying, like, do you think that was the seagull that was on the cover? And, like, when we went... Because, so on our drive home, we had to stop by Holiday House. It was on the way home.
Absolutely.
And when we were there, and this isn't... I just need to specify by saying that house is in an extremely public place. We were not being weirdos. Like, we were on a public beach that there were hundreds of people on that you can see the house from. Yeah. It was not like we were, like, trying to be freaks. But it was on our way home. We needed somewhere to stop for lunch, and it just, like, fit in. So that's what we did. And there was, like, a seagull sitting on top of her house.
No way.
We're like,
shut up.
Like, this is a sign that 1989 TV is coming. It was just so funny. And, like, that TikTok breakdown kills me because there's one line. The one line is so funny because, like, it's literally has nothing to do with anything. I think it's the one they say is for Reputation. I can't remember what it is right now, but it's just...
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
And
the only one that, like, vaguely fits is the one they say is for 1989, which is, like, I hosted parties and starved my body because she has clearly talked about, like, having issues with eating in that time, and she did have parties at that time. That's the only one that's, like, slightly, like, makes sense.
It's such a stretch. They're, like, sprinkler splashes. Oh
Debut.
My God, that's so Debut.
Huh?
Like, be so... what?
And Fireplace Ashes is Fearless?
Like, yell out. Like, I just don't. And it blows my mind how every couple of months somebody like rediscovers this, quote unquote, and they're like, wait, why is everyone talking about this? And then they post a TikTok and it gets like hundreds of thousands of likes. I'm like, seriously?
When I was reading the comments on the TikTok, because I had to pull it up for her, because I was just like, she's like, this can't be real. So I'm reading the comments, and the comments are people like, you, like, everyone in the comments is like, what are you talking about? Yeah. Like, literally, what? It's crazy.
It's actually ridiculous. It's so funny. But that song, it's so good.
It's a great song.
The bridge, when I listened to it for the first time, I think it's the only Taylor song that made me cry after the first listen. It was like immediate. I went back and listened to the bridge again. I was like, wow, girl. It's so good.
Yeah, the bridge is...
I hope we get it many more times on tour.
Me too. I think it was you. I don't know if you said this to me just in conversation or on the podcast about how you think it'll probably be done in every continent.
Yeah.
And I agree.
Can't wait.
I also can't wait. And I'm excited to see if it's in the movie.
We haven't talked about this.
Yeah, because the movie got announced. Actually, I was in Rhode Island when the movie got announced. I woke up.
You were an Easter egg.
Yeah. I woke up and I had like a million texts, and I didn't even like wake up late or anything. I woke up at she announced at like 7:30 a.m.
So early.
I woke up at like 8, and I was like, oh my gosh, I woke up to my friend Riley calling me. He's like, there's a Taylor movie. I got tickets to the car. Can you go? I'm like, yeah. I don't even know if I could go. I was like, yeah, I can go. And then it's just crazy that it's happening. And then...
Because we were also saying on an episode a few weeks ago, we're like, we're not going to get a tour movie until tour's over. Like, obviously. It's the next natural step. And now here we
are.
I'm like, we're wrong about everything.
We need to keep saying
shut
things.
Up, you know?
No, we need to keep saying things wrong. Just so whatever we want, we need to say it's not going to happen, and then it happens.
Yeah. It was just so funny. I woke up late that day, and my phone was absolutely blowing up.
Yeah. Did you get tickets?
I did. Well, so I bought tickets. There's like a Regal right by my house, and so I bought tickets for like the 6:00 show. It was like the first one. Great seats. And then I go on Twitter. Like, this was before I had even gone on Twitter to, like, see what was happening. And then I see that AMC has having souvenir cups and popcorn thing. I'm like, I want that.
I know.
And I don't know why I didn't just buy a ticket for, like, the next weekend. And, like,
well, because the souvenir
AMC.
cups could be gone.
That's true. That was probably my thought process. Yeah. So I canceled my Regal tickets. I got a refund. And then I'm going to an AMC, but at 8:30.
That's crazy because AMC you can't get refunded.
Yeah.
Because so my friend Riley got us the tickets for the first night. We're going at the first showing it's actually at a Cinemark, which is owned by AMC. So they better have
I saw Cinemark was having stuff.
Okay. That's all I needed to hear. So we're going to the first showing of that on Friday, and then on Sunday I bought tickets to take the kids. But I was kind of worried they were going to sell out, so I just bought them without saying anything to their mom, and they can't go. So now I have 6 tickets that I can't return to Sunday, but I'll find people to go. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But I'm like, how many times am I going to see this? The answer is probably too many.
No, absolutely. Like
every weekend.
Thursday night or something?
Yeah, might as well.
When are they playing them? Is it every day?
I don't know.
Because I honestly have not looked. I bought those tickets, and then I was just like, okay, good, I'm going.
That's, kind of what I did too. I would imagine it's probably playing like a regular movie every day. Yeah. But I did see that it has to run in theaters for 90 days, and then it can go onto streaming if they want.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll get it 90 days in the theaters at least.
At least. When I was looking at tickets, at AMC at least, there was like a drop down thing, and it was like tickets from October 13th through like December, and then there was a gap, and it said like March through May or something.
Yeah.
I was like, huh?
I have a feeling it'll probably run in theaters for a while.
Yeah, people will still go see it, I think.
I'll still go see it. I'm like, whatever. I'm gonna be texting you and be like, you wanna go see the movie?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
let's just go. Yeah, I love that it's going to just be, and it's going to be very much like the Reputation Stadium Tour movie, I'm assuming. Mm-hmm. It's just going to be the concert.
I know a lot of people are talking about it's only 2 hours and 45 minutes. Like, what did they cut out?
I think, like, with cutting out a lot of transitions and everything.
I love the transitions. They, like, make the show. You can't just go from, like, tolerate it, boom, ready for it.
I know.
You need the snake slithering. You need the boots walking.
I know. And I've seen a lot of, like, how the commercial, was that what it would be called?
Yeah.
The trailer. Teaser, whatever. How it, like, stops right when she's about to say something for Reputation. I'm like, that is kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. So, in this episode, we're going to be talking about Easter eggs and, like, little theories that have come true, or, like, hints that she gave that, like, how they were fulfilled and stuff like that.
I'm so excited for this.
Yeah, so I did some research for this episode, and I did some of my own thinking for this episode. So it's kind of a mix, and I'll tell you when it's my brain or somebody else's. And most of the theories I had heard of before, I just, like, I'm not going to remember literally everything.
Oh, yeah, and it's hard to put, like, timelines together of stuff.
Exactly. So this isn't in, like, chronological order here. That's not how we're doing things.
Right.
Because it's
too
difficult. Yeah. So we just have, like, little things. Some is, like, so, okay, this is what I'm going to start with. I'm going to start with when Taylor did an Entertainment Weekly video talking about Easter eggs and explaining what they are and, like, how she does them. So I just feel like we need this to bring us back to reality and go back to what the woman herself said about Easter eggs.
We'll start and end with this.
Yes. So when in the video, she talks about how she uses Easter eggs with clothes and jewelry, with her nails, set design for photo shoots, music videos, coded messages in lyric books, hints in interviews. She loves to use symbolism. She specifically talked about snakes, butterflies, and palm trees, and she talked about what those different things mean and how she likes those three things and often uses them. And then sometimes she said they're just completely stupid, random, not that deep. She'll throw in, like, 13s and cats because they're two things that she loves very much.
Yeah.
She'll have numbers that add up to 13, that kind of thing.
So Easter eggs don't need to be alluding to something. They could just be like...
Sometimes it's just like, hey, just a reminder that I like these things.
Yes.
Often, she says that's often 13s and cats.
Makes sense.
Okay. So that is what Taylor has said about Easter eggs.
Was that during, like, the Lover era? When
Yes.
she did that interview? Okay.
Yeah. She had her cute little tips.
That's recent, guys.
Yep. Not that long. So, just a reminder... That is how she speaks about Easter eggs.
All things that are very, like, directly related to Taylor that she can control herself.
Correct. So, and in my research, this is, like, an Easter egg that I found and I've never heard anyone talk about. So, maybe I'm just out of the loop, or maybe I'm just a genius. So, I was watching, like, a bunch of her different interviews and different things, and I watched her NYU speech. And at the very end of it, she says, breathe in, breathe through, breathe deep, breathe out. From Labyrinth.
Yeah, people were talking about that, I think, like, after the album came out.
I just never saw anyone talk about that. And I'm just listening to the speech, like, minding my own business. And she said that. I'm like, whoa. That sounds familiar.
And she did the whole, something about you're on your own.
Yeah, she did like, that. She has, like, a whole spiel about being on your own.
Yeah. The good news is you're on your own.
Yeah. Bad news is you're on your own. Yeah. So I was like, wow, look at you go.
That was so sneaky.
I know. And
that was in, like, what, like, May?
It was in May, and then the album came out in October.
That's crazy. Yeah, we all forgot about it by then. We were like, I don't think anyone was thinking she would put Easter eggs in her speech.
No, I wouldn't either. The only reason I even watched it, I wasn't looking for Easter eggs when I was watching it. I was just like, I haven't watched this in a while. And, like, in my other things, it popped up, and I watched it. And then I was like, oh.
I did move on for that too quickly, though.
Yeah, I never heard anyone talk about it, and I was like, wow. Anyway, I'm taking a sip of my drink, everyone. I'm sorry.
Sip break.
Okay. And then another one I found that's Midnightsy related was in the first Midnight's Mayhem, she says, it's me, hi.
Okay.
Very just, like, simple. I saw on TikTok. Okay. So we're gonna go through, I broke down little Easter eggs in 2 music videos. 2 of the probably two music videos that are extremely filled with Easter eggs. I didn't pull out every Easter egg in the music videos, but 2 that have a lot. And that would be the Bejeweled music video. Is stacked. And Look What You Made Me Do.
Yeah.
Is crazy. There's so many in it.
And I think those are 2 videos that Taylor herself had said that they are stacked.
Oh, when she talks about the Bejeweled music video, she said that they had a PDF of the Easter eggs because there were so many that they kept losing track of them. And then she also said about the Look What You Made Me Do music video, that was where she famously said there's so many in that music video that I can't even remember them, and people will be discovering them for the next 10 years and probably still wouldn't have found them all.
That's bizarre to me. I don't know. I don't believe that.
I think she's crazy.
She's also, she's a little liar sometimes.
Sometimes. But there is a lot in the
No,
Look What You Made Me Do music video. So, we're going to do Bejeweled first. And again, I only pulled out 4. So, like, let's not be crazy. There's a lot of them in there, but I only pulled out 4. Yeah. So, 1, it would be, and, like, literally the whole Bejeweled music video was to tell us Speak Now's next. Like, that's literally what is in it, pretty much. So, the very first Speak Now coded thing I noticed in that music video was in the very beginning when they're talking, you can hear Enchanted playing in the background.
That was something I didn't even notice.
Yeah,
until people pointed it out.
Didn't notice it until people pointed it out also. Yeah. But yeah. And then the next thing would be the elevator buttons with the albums in order from start to finish, including re-records. Yeah. It kind of gave us our pathway to re-records.
But we don't know what's after Speak Now. Like, it just stopped at the 13.
That was for the indicator at the top. The buttons in the elevator had everything.
I don't think they did. I think it literally just went up to 13. And then someone photoshopped one that put all of the...
Really?
Yeah, because I knew we were like, oh, Speak Now is next. And that was, like, all we knew. And then people kept making ones.
Oh, maybe.
I'm pretty sure.
I watched the music video. I thought it was all of them, but I don't know. I could be wrong. Oh, no. I could be... See? Maybe. I don't know.
Uh-oh.
But then... So, the buttons are up to... interpretation. I'm not sure exactly what's true and what's not, but we get the point of the buttons being an indicator towards re-records and what's next. So then the indicator at the top of the elevator is in order. Speak Now is like the last one. Like, it shows everything up into Speak Now being the last one, indicating Speak Now's left. Next, and then she gets in the elevator and gets off at the Speak Now floor, but then when she gets back in, she gets off at the 1989 floor. Ah,
yes.
So that was, like, our hint of, like, Speak Now, then we're getting 1989 after that. So I liked that. I thought that was cool, and I didn't notice that. Because I was just so heavily thinking on Speak Now, I didn't even, like, click in, catch that second thing. And I also, this is something else I didn't notice either, that Speak Now came out, that music video came out on the Speak Now anniversary. It came out on October 25th, which is when Speak Now came out.
Oh my god. I didn't know that.
Isn't that cute?
Oh, that's so cute.
I was like, I love that. That's a cute little, like, go off, girl.
Wow, okay.
Okay, so again, this is a reminder that Easter eggs are just cute little reminders, not extensive theories about her personal life. Then the next music video, Look What You Made Me Do. So one of my favorite, this is again just like a little nod to just her in the beginning, there's like that aerial view and it says TS in it.
I haven't watched that video in a long time.
Well, it's there, so
it says
love.
TS. Cute.
So then it opens up with like the graveyard of her reputation, and then in there's a few different little things that she's just like nods to things she's burying. One of them being she comes out of the grave wearing an outfit very similar to Out of the Woods. So in my head, that's very much like she got buried in the 1989 era, and now she's coming back from the dead, still wearing the Out of the Woods dress, you know. Yeah. And then she has like a tombstone for Nils Sjoberg, which is a pen name that she used for This Is What You Came For when she wrote with Calvin Harris. Yeah. And I thought it was cute. Well, not cute, but kind of funny. She did that interview with Paul McCartney for Rolling Stone. Yeah. She said that she picked those two names because they're the most common male names in... Oh. I forget what country.
Somewhere.
Yeah. I was like, wow, look at you.
Come on.
Just was trying to go undetected. You also can see the 2014 Grammys dress in that time period in the grave. So just like little nods to like... This is the old me. Mm-hmm. She's dead.
And these are probably the Easter eggs that she buried for 10 years that people are going to still be finding, kind of thing. Like, these are the kind of stuff.
Yes, it's just like little things. Exactly. Yeah. Just little things. Exactly. And I thought this was really funny because this isn't something that, like, I necessarily ever thought about too much. But, you know, she's in that car and she's wearing that, like, leopard outfit.
Yeah.
She has a haircut exactly like Katy Perry.
Oh, my God.
In that.
Oh my god.
And she's, like, holding a Grammy, which, like, Katy Perry famously doesn't have. And listen, and then there's all those paparazzi that are, like, taking pictures of her, and it's all her backup dancers from 1989. And there was all that drama with Katy Perry stealing her backup dancers.
No way.
And I was like, this woman is hilarious.
That's so
like,
funny.
she's funny. She's dressed up as Katy Perry, holding a Grammy, with the backup dancers taking pictures of her. And it's funnier now because the beef is now squashed and, like, they're fine.
These are the kinds of things I want to know about these videos.
And she made her baby a blanket. Like, it's very sweet and nice.
Yes.
And then when she's, like, laying in the tub of diamonds and jewelry and all the riches, there's a single $1 bill, which is, like, a nod to her sexual assault case.
Yeah.
Just, you know, again, little nods here. And then, like, the snakes being everywhere is pointing back to Kim calling her a snake and that whole deal. That's the Reputation era in a nutshell, is taking Snake back and making it her brand for quite a while.
And she did, because that could have not worked. That could have backfired.
Yes, and it didn't. And she very much turned it back on, like, she just, like, took the negative thing and made it her own and was like, you know what, you're gonna call me a snake? Fine. I will use snakes extensively. And then another little cute thing I saw in the video was when they have the factory of her girl squad, there's a bunch of them wearing I Heart TS shirts, which is like a little nod to Tom. Just cute. Cute, fun. And that's, like, the little Easter eggs that I thought stuck out a lot in the music video. And again, I know there's a ton more, so I don't want to be yelled at about those.
I didn't know that Katy Perry thing. I don't think.
Yeah, the Katy Perry thing is funny, and you have to, like, go in and watch it because you just see her like her attitude about it is hilarious. Okay, so then these were some that I pulled on from Reddit. The Reddit user that posted these, all their account was deleted, so I don't know their name, so I'm very sorry about that. But anyway. Again, some of these I already knew, but just helped organize the thoughts. So Taylor posting not a lot going on at the moment before Folklore dropped. I don't really consider that an Easter egg because it's just, like, I feel like that's just, like, sarcasm. Like, she was just being sarcastic and funny. Yeah. But when she posted it again, and we were like, oh my gosh, are we getting a second out? Like, what's happening here? That, the second time I would call an Easter egg, and then... And, like, people that were saying we were getting a second album, I was like, you're insane. And then we did, so joke's on me. Yeah. So, let's see. So, in the You Need to Calm Down music video, Haley shot an arrow at the target with a number 5 on it. And it was, like, guessed that track number 5 on Lover was going to have some sort of reference to archery.
I remember a lot of people thought she would be featured on track 5.
Or that too, but...
archery makes sense.
And is the archer. So then, also in that music video, Ellen got a Cruel Summer tattoo that we later found out was the name of a song, and people were kind of speculating that. Because when the You Need to Calm Down music video came out, there wasn't a track list for Lover yet, so...
Oh, wow. And didn't we get lyrics? Something like Devil's Roll the Dice?
Maybe.
I feel like that was in there somewhere, too.
Yeah, and there was also, in the Me music video... Before she had even announced the name of the album, there was the big Lover sign.
Do you remember that when people were like, oh, it's Lover, and then Taylor comes online and she's like, no one has found the name yet.
She's insane.
We're like, you're a liar. That's why I don't believe her sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you're a liar. Exactly.
It's just so funny.
And this one is going all the way back to 2012, so we're jumping back in time a little bit here. That Taylor put a red scarf around a guy's neck in the... We're Never Getting Back Together music video, which was a reference to All Too Well. I know. And then another one from the Red era was in this, and I think, was Red the last time she did coded messages in the booklet.
Oh, maybe.
Because I don't think we got any past then. Because the next album would have been 1989.
We definitely didn't get any for Reputation.
Yeah, I don't think there was any in 1989 either. But whatever. In Red, this is one of the, like, first ones that I remember, like, figuring out for myself and being like, oh my gosh, that's crazy, was the maple lattes. And All Too Well, it spelled out maple lattes, and then there was that picture of her and Jake with the maple lattes. It just, yep. We love this woman.
So funny.
And then, so this one said, another one is the chick's picture was in the Me music video, which a lot of people thought was hinting towards a collaboration for Lover, which we got.
Which we did.
So, love. And then these next few are from a BuzzFeed article, which was actually pretty well put together. And I was like, wow, look at you guys go.
BuzzFeed?
Yeah. So, the Me mural, we got that before we knew we were getting an album or a song or any of the things. So it just was very tailor coded, and then the Me was added to it, and then she popped up at it, and then we got a song.
I saw that the other day. It was like the anniversary of the mural being painted, and people were tweeting like freaking out.
Yeah. So craziness. What a fun time.
Yeah, I miss it.
So me too. And I like those. That's the kind of stuff I like. Like her. When it's really a Taylor Easter egg, I'm like, oh, it's fun and like a cute little hint, not the bridge of a song being about her whole career, you know? Or like, I don't even know. So it's just some of the theories drive me crazy. But anyway, in the I Bet You Think About Me music video, which is another very heavy on the Easter egg.
Yeah.
It's just got a lot of them. They have on the cake, they read that she like, with her fingers, draws the two lines, and it looks like an equal sign, which was the name of Ed Sheeran's latest like album. That was, I don't know if we knew that album was coming out or not yet, but it's called Equal, right? That's just what it's called, or it's just the.
His last album was Subtract,
so it's the one before that. Whatever, it doesn't matter. He has an album called Equal, and after that music video, 13 weeks later, to be specific, the collab with those two came out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Joker and the Queen came out 13 weeks after the I Bet You Think About Me music video. And that was like a hint to it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, there was a 26 up there too, wasn't there? Did we figure out what that was?
I don't think so. God only knows, truly. And then in promoting Joker and the Queen, Taylor Nation posted a timer. You know how like the Instagram timers you can post? Yeah. And it was frozen on 55.22. And so people were like, oh, we're getting something on May 5th, 5/2. And we did. This Love Taylor's version came out on May 5th.
Wow. Okay. I remember that being at a time when Instagram was just bugging and every timer was freezing.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that was actually intentional.
I know, but it worked out. If it was or if it wasn't.
Why did she give us this love? Do you remember like why it came out? I don't think it was in anything.
I think we all thought it was going to be in something, but then it wasn't.
It wasn't, and it's not like it was like a popular
was it in The
song.
Summer I Turned Pretty?
I don't know.
It may have been in The Summer I Turned Pretty, actually. It might have been.
Maybe.
And then this is the last one I have, and then we can just like generally talk about Easter eggs or something for a little bit, because this went a lot faster than I was anticipating, and I had a list of like 30, so I just talked about them very quickly. Wow. So, Paul McCartney randomly tweeted 13 dice emojis, like, and everyone was like, "What is happening?" Like, 13, like everyone knows 13's Taylor's number, Cruel Summer dice, whatever. People thought it was weird, and then 4 days earlier, Taylor was in a Capital One ad that had a random pair of dice on the shelf also. So it's just like, this is really weird. And people were like, it's a stretch that the two, like, what's happening here? But then they were on the cover of Rolling Stone together.
Oh, he tweeted that before they were on
the cover?
Okay.
So that was like a little hint of that, which I thought was cute. And I was like, cute. I love Paul McCartney. I think he's such a precious gem of a man. And the Beatles used to do a lot of like, little like and stuff. Yeah, so a lot of people think that that's where she kind of got the inspiration from, so just comes back around.
It does come back around.
Exactly. So yeah, all of that to say, Easter eggs are simple.
They really are.
They're not that complex. Yeah. And
it's still fun to look into it. And
I do think
it's crazy sometimes.
It's fun, and I think some of the theories, like the big theory right now that's going on, is like the numbers between albums and all that stuff.
The 112-day theory?
Yes.
I know I sent you a video of it. I fell into this rabbit hole.
And like, I do think there is some, I think if it happens again, I'll be like, okay.
Yeah.
You got me there. But sometimes I also feel like sometimes I could see her being like, they figured it out, cancel it. Cancel it, we're not doing it.
She has like a plan B, C, D,
yeah,
E, like
exactly.
just in case.
Yeah, she's like, nah, doesn't like it.
Then again, she claims that she's not online. And that she never sees anything.
Yeah, but she does see something. she definitely... Yeah. First of all, she'd be liking TikTok, so I don't want to hear she's just not online.
I think she literally searches Swift Talk and then likes the top 10 videos. That's all she does.
You think?
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Do you think she actually sits there and watches them, or do you think she just likes it and scrolls?
I don't know. Or maybe, like, Tree finds some that are, like, safe for her to like. Yeah. Because I'm sure it could be, like...
Like, do you think Tree sends her TikToks?
Yes, I think she does.
She's like, okay, like this one.
Tree has a secret account. She's like, okay, you can like all of these. Like, these are safe to like.
Yeah.
So, like, whatever ones you want. Like, but like 7 of them, because remember, in 7 days, we have this thing.
Yeah, I wonder if, like, people in her life are constantly like, okay, but this could be an Easter egg. If she's, or you know what I mean? And she's just kind of like, no.
Yeah, it's like everyone wants to play along.
Right, and she... I could kind of see her being like, no, this is my thing. Your ideas are stupid. And then, like, using it. Like, I came up with this.
Yeah, who knows?
But I will say, I was listening to... I had, again, in research, I was watching a lot of interviews. And I had actually never watched... She did an Apple Music interview with Zane Lowe. It was like an hour long. It's a really good interview. I don't know if you've ever watched it.
I'm trying to think.
But she's talking about Evermore.
Oh, maybe I haven't.
It was really good. And he let her, like, just talk a lot. And, like, he was just kind of, like... He's a really good interviewer. I don't know if you've ever watched him, but he's an excellent interviewer. He's not pushy about things. He talks about music, which I love. Yeah. And, like, you get to see how smart she is in this interview and how much... Like, there's no questions about her love life in it. Nothing like that. It's literally strictly about... Evermore and the music and everything. And she was talking a lot in that interview about how with Folklore and Evermore, it was like she had to like rewire her brain with these albums because she was so used to planning and knowing what's coming next and having a set plan when an album comes out. Whereas when these albums came out, it was unprecedented. Yeah. Unprecedented times. Nobody knew what was coming next. And she said that with Evermore specifically, she was like, well, maybe I'll wait till January to put this out because maybe things will be a little bit better and then we'll have a better idea of what's coming next. And she was like going back and forth with that. And then she finally said to herself, like, enough with the planning. Like, I just need to put this out. It's not that serious. It doesn't need to be at the perfect time. And she was just kind of talking about how in the future she wants to be less of a planner, which I feel like she's reverted back to her planning ways. But she was saying how like it was like a relief to not have to be planning so much in that time of just imagine. Like,
and the albums were so successful too. Well, this Folklore was like,
yeah,
that it may not have seemed like great timing to her, but it really was great timing.
It was wonderful. I think put it out. Folklore and Evermore, I've always liked the album. It's always been like Folklore's younger sister to me. Like, yeah, it's fun. Like, it's good. I like some songs on it, but I've been listening to it a lot recently, and it is lyrically incredible. Like, it is such a beautiful album, and her lyricism is just, I say this all the time, but it truly is unfreaking matched. Like, I don't know anyone who writes songs like her. I can't think of a single artist that writes music like her. And I like other people's lyricism, but she just is like, I don't even know.
It hits. It digs deep.
And
those albums were such a good...
Right, and like Folklore and Evermore, you can really see her lyricism in. Like, I think her other albums are clever. She has like little lines that you're like, oh my gosh, like that's crazy. But these are like the full song. It's just like, I don't even know. It's like an insane experience the whole time you're listening to it.
I'm surprised it took her this long to write songs like that. Like,
I know.
I know she's been capable of it.
Right.
For years.
It's crazy. Oh, we are getting lots of static right now. I don't know why. Oh, okay. It went away. Sorry, friends. Oh.
There you go.
Jeez, what is happening?
Is it Taylor?
Yeah, Taylor texted me and she said that your theories are stupid and she hates you all. And she only likes me and Emily.
Wow, straight from her mouth.
Yeah, that's what she just texted me and said, just so you know. No, I'm just kidding. It was not her.
Like, my ears are ringing. I know you're talking about me and my theories.
Yeah, so she texted me to let me know. And then she invited me to 4th of July next year in Rhode Island. So.
It's like I saw you outside my house and I just wanted you to know that you're invited.
So true. But it was kind of funny. Let's actually talk about this Rhode Island trip a little bit.
Yes, please.
So I was in Newport for a wedding, shot a wedding, and then we were there for like a few days after. And on our drive home, we were like, I was with two of my friends, both love Taylor. So we were like, we should go. Like, we're in Rhode Island. It's an hour away. It's an hour towards home.
Yeah.
If it was an hour away from home, I probably wouldn't have gone. If I'm being honest.
House,
yeah, just to see a house, like, that she's not at. Like, even if she was there, I wouldn't have gone an hour out of our way. But because it was on the way home, because we hadn't really eaten much that day, so we knew we were going to be hungry for lunch, like, at that hour mark, it just, like, made sense to go.
Yeah.
So we drive there. The parking was horrific.
Oh, man.
And the parking lots there, $50 to park in.
No. For these beaches?
$50.
Listen, I know y'all are rich up there in Rhode Island. But
$50. Street parking was free. But you, like, couldn't... They had, like... It was crazy. They had street parking, like, specifically for Rhode Island residents. Which, honestly, I wish New Jersey had that. I'm a little jealous.
Yeah.
And so that was, like... Obviously, we couldn't park there. We don't have Rhode Island tags. Like, we would stick out like this for a thumb. Couldn't park there. And then there was, like, 3 lots. They were $50 to park in. And then, like... It's a very small town. Like, extremely small. I'm not kidding when I say... There's, like... I don't even know. Like, there's, like, one street with, like, little shops and restaurants, and then the rest of it is just houses. Like, that's it. And her house is right off the main... Like, it is on the main road.
Oh, wow.
It's at the end of the... I was shocked at how just in the middle of it all the house is. Like, it's genuinely not a private place.
Are there other, like, big mansions over there?
Yeah, there's other big houses for sure.
Yeah.
And, like, all along, like, the coastline there are big houses, but hers is kind of... So when you go on the main street, like, so if I'm in the main street driving towards the ocean, so you're driving east towards the ocean, her house is just, like, at the end of the main street. It's just, like...
Oh, that is shocking.
So it's, like, off the road a bit. Like, there's, like, she's got a very long driveway, but there's, like, 2 different ways you can go and see parts of the house. So there's, like, one... So we would talk to the security guard, because there's a security guard standing outside. And we were just like, what's the best, like, plan of action here? We just want to see it from a distance, obviously. Like, we're not, like... And he was like, you can go on the beach, and you can see it there. And he's like, and if you go down this street, you can see the other side. So we went on the beach first. Really gonna be honest with you, it's not that exciting. Like, it's just... It sits up very high on a hill. There's a lot of rocks. And then it's just the house. You can see the back of it. There was a security guard standing in the back on the balcony. Yeah. Just, I'm like, imagine your job being like, I'm Taylor's security guard when she's not home. Like, it's just funny. And I'm like, does he have access to the inside of the house?
I hope so. He probably has to pee.
I know. And I feel like to get to that balcony, you would have to go through the house.
Yeah.
Like, it's so interesting.
I'm sure there's people inside, too.
Probably. I'm sure, yeah. We saw 2 security guards, but I'm sure there's probably people inside, too, yeah.
Yeah.
So it would be very difficult to get to the house because it's gated, and then it's, like, rough terrain. Like, to get, like, up to the house, you know what I mean? Yeah, from the beach. Yeah. And then, but if she was, like, out on the balcony, like, you could clearly see. And sis needs to get some curtains. Oh, because there are not curtains on that house. You can see through every freaking window. Oh, I'm like, maybe she just has them up when she's not home. But I'm like, your electric bill for trying to cool that house. What's going on here?
Because if you can't afford it.
True. Yeah. Very true. But I'm like, I was thinking that. I'm like, there's not a lot of privacy if she is here.
Yeah, interesting. I wonder how often she goes. Like,
I know. And it was Labor Day weekend, so we were kind of like, oh, maybe she'll be here. It's Labor Day weekend.
Oh my God.
I mean, obviously I don't know where she was, but I'm gonna heavily assume she was not there, because I would assume if she was there, the security would have been triple the amount that we saw.
Yeah.
You know, like...
Yeah.
But... And then from the side, the second view, you couldn't really see much because... So a girl that I follow on Instagram that I've, like, just from being Swiftie, she went a couple years ago, and you could see the house, like, really clear from the spot that we were, but a lot of, like, vegetation has grown since we were there. So you couldn't really see much from the side view.
Yeah.
And it was just like, okay. Like, we stood there for like 2 seconds and we're like, we're leaving.
All right.
And then we went and got lunch at a restaurant, and it was great.
Good.
And that was...
So, not worth it to drive the hour out of the way, but if it's on your way.
If it's on your way, fun, do it. But it wasn't like...
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't expecting it to be some, like, really insane, exciting thing. But it was cool to see. It's a stunning house. And I was just really surprised by how close it is. But I will say, like, she has a pool on the property. You cannot see the pool from any of the public, like, places. So that's... Because the house sits up really high on a hill, and then the pool is, like, down. If, like, yeah. So you couldn't see, like, that area. And, like, where she has the... Where I'm speculating that she has her parties with her, like, blow-up slide and stuff, I don't think you can see any of that from the beach.
Because I was wondering, I'm like, well, if it's not that private, how does she have parties? Not that she's, like, always throwing these massive parties, but...
Yeah. I think they must use that, like, lower ground it's just completely covered by trees and stuff. So, yeah. It was cool to see. It's a beautiful house. I was very surprised by how small the town is. I'm like, when she's there...
I'm shocked, too.
She must not leave the house or the locals just let her live.
Yeah. I'm sure there's just, like, a lot of rich people with a lot of status.
It was definitely a very, very wealthy place. You could just tell. Yeah. But, the beach was nice. It was cute. I would have went to the beach there, and I'm very picky about my beaches, and I did like the beaches in Rhode Island.
Not for that parking price.
No, not for that parking price. But we did do a beach day, and our parking was $15. So I was like, okay, that's more reasonable. But it was pretty cool because our car was like steps away from where we were on the beach. It was really different. The Jersey Shore, it's a hike from the car to the beach.
It really is.
This was not. It was flat.
Something else.
I could have had all my stuff in the car and just like got what I needed. It was a nice experience.
Good.
I enjoyed the Rhode Island beaches.
I'm mad because I went to Rhode Island for July 4th of 2020.
Oh.
Right before we got Folklore. So I couldn't even listen, because The Last Great American Dynasty is one of my favorite songs from her.
Yeah.
And I didn't even have it to listen to when I was in Rhode Island for the first time.
That's rude, because I listened to it probably 100 times.
Yeah, I'm pissed off.
And you know what? I need to say that I posted it on my story, and my friend Riley, who I know is listening to this, felt the need to be like, how many times are you going to use that song? And I said, as many times as I want, because I am in Rhode Island. I am at the house that the song's written about. So you can...
Jealous much?
And you know what? That's exactly what I said. I said, don't be a hater because you're not here. And he was like,
jealousy
you're right.
It's a disease.
It's a disease and it's ugly and nobody likes it. Especially not Taylor.
No, that's so funny. I would absolutely be over the top obnoxious with that. August, all of the above.
We only listened to Folklore the whole time we were there.
Yeah, you have to.
We were driving through the town with the song all the way turned up. I don't care how basic and disgusting I look to the rich people.
Folklore is the perfect album to listen to.
It
in
is.
Rhode Island. I want to go back so bad. I was only in Providence.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. So Newport is
a
really, really a cute place. And I would really recommend it. Especially if you're within driving distance. Literally the perfect weekend trip, because you can do it all in a weekend. Because Newport is a very small town. They have this thing, it's called Ocean Drive. It's like the Ocean Drive, and it takes you around the perimeter of Newport, and you can do the whole thing in 20 minutes. Oh. So that just gives you, an idea of how small it is.
I'm not a huge beach person at all, but I loved, the beach townness of just,
Yeah, it's really, really cute. And I'm a big beach person, so I loved it. Yeah. I would definitely go back there.
I may be a fake fan. I didn't know she owned a house when I was in Rhode Island, so I didn't even, it wasn't even on my radar
That's so
to,
funny.
Try and see it.
I don't know how far it is from Providence. I feel like it's probably far, to be honest.
Oh, probably, yeah.
I don't think it's near Providence.
No, because we also did that, cliff walk or something.
Oh, that's in Newport. The cliff walks.
How far is Newport from Providence? Because I think we must have done a day trip to walk there.
Well, Rhode Island is rather small.
My friend was staying in Providence, and then I think we were driving just to, explore stuff.
Gotcha. The cliff walks are really, really cool.
It was really cool. And then when I found out Taylor had a house, someone told me it was on the cliff walk. And I was like, are you kidding me?
No, it's not.
Did I see it and not know it? But then I was, looking it up. I'm like, no, I don't
it's an hour away from the cliff walk.
Yeah. I probably would have passed it on the way home because I didn't drive up there. Yeah,
the Cliff Walks is in Newport. I think Providence is past Newport, so further north.
Makes sense.
I could be wrong. I'm not a geography expert.
No, that makes sense in my head.
But
this is more like inward.
Yes.
Words, and then, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you are within driving distance of Newport, 10 out of 10 recommend driving there. I would maybe 2 out of 10 recommend going. If I'm being honest. If it's on your way, it's cool. But like what... And we kept joking. We're like, Taylor's going to see us standing outside and invite us in. Like, obviously, we're not idiots. We knew that was never happening. If she saw us standing outside, she'd probably go inside because she'd be scared. And I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely cool to see and a fun little addition to the trip. But
so cute.
Not worth it being the sole reason for the trip, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's not as easy to see as her Cornelia Street apartment.
No, not nearly as easy to see. And just, yeah. I just was like, I just kept saying, and I've said it a few times this episode already, I just could not get over the fact, I'm like, she spent all this money, $11 million in cash to be exact, for this house to be the backyard, be the public beach.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Kind of insane. I wonder, you said it was Labor Day weekend, like, I wonder if it's really packed other days.
Yeah.
Weekends,
it was insane.
Yeah, on the holidays, like, I'm sure it's...
When we were trying to walk, because, like, when you walk down to the beach entrance, you have to go to the right to see the house a little bit. We were just trying to get through the people to get to the water, and it was, like, dodging ants. Like, there were so many of them.
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh gosh, this is like crazy. And this is why we couldn't find parking. We probably drove around for 15 minutes to find parking. And I said to Maddie, we were on our like last loop, like I said, Maddie, this is the last loop I'm taking. If we can't find parking, we're leaving. And we found a spot in that
fate.
It was perfect. But yeah, it was cute and fun. And we went to the restaurant that she apparently loves there.
Was it good?
It was, yeah. It wasn't, like, out of this world, but it was good. A little pricey for what it was.
I know.
But it wasn't even, like, that expensive, but the food just, like, it all just needed a little salt, if I'm being honest.
It all just salt. That's where she got that from. She was like, more salt.
More salt in the food. No, but it was good. And I bought a sweatshirt that said Watch Hill.
Oh, good. You have to.
Yeah. Well, the only reason I bought the sweatshirt is because I didn't buy one in Newport. And I was going to buy one, and I was like, it's like $60, and I will probably wear it twice. Like, just, like, I would rather buy something else that I'd wear more often for $60. But in Watch Hill, all the sweatshirts were 50% off. So it was like $20.
Dang.
So I was like, okay.
All these signs, you know?
Yeah.
It's all just supposed to happen.
It's all just fate. So, now, when I get invited to a secret session at the Rhode Island house, I can wear my Watch Hill sweatshirt.
You'll be like, creep.
And look like a local.
I'm away at the door.
Yeah.
Oh, just kidding.
The door's there. You can go. But, yeah.
So fun.
So fun.
I love it.
Alrighty. Well, I think that can wrap this episode up.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun. And I hope you enjoyed our little ramblings after talking about some Easter eggs.
Slay.
Slay. Alright. Catch you guys next week.
See ya.
Bye.